January 20th, 2025. How about it?
How about it?
One more and I'm out of here. Coming to you from the Illegal Shift Studios. Man, what a day. What a day. What a day. Donald Trump is now president. And it was great. It was the thing about the Trump speech. And we're going to play some cuts from it coming up. But when you go to a Trump event, you are committing to an hour plus, an hour 15, an hour 30, hour 45 of Trump speaking. He got this done in 29 minutes today. 29 minutes. And, I mean, he hit just about everything there was to hit. So I think it was pretty good.
No, I think he killed it. I'm actually looking because I think I screwed up. And I need you to cover for a second because I got to pull my email back up.
You got to pull what happened? You don't have my sound bites ready?
Well, no, I don't.
Well, before we get to actually...
I'm scrambling right now.
Before we get to the speech.
We had a great day today, though.
Yeah.
That's why I'm scrambling.
Played a little garage golf this morning.
Yes.
Then went and watched the speech. And now here we are at...
speech was...
The Illegal Shift Studio. One more and I'm out of here.
The speech was absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion.
I'm hearing a lot of people saying it's his best speech ever.
Yes. And... He literally said, and I loved, and we talked about it a little bit with not me and you, but people I was with. We were in the same room, but where he would make a statement and his just mannerisms of just turning of, hey, I'm going to fix Joe Biden shit. You know,
yeah.
As dumb as it is, but it makes sense.
And speaking of Joe Biden shit, he shit himself multiple times on the way out the door. I was on my way to the post about 20 minutes before the speech started. ABC News had started their coverage on radio, and so they're just literally moments away from the swearing in of J.D. Vance. And Amy Klobuchar, the idiot senator from Minnesota, is making some remarks because some reason she was the head of the committee that put on all the inaugural events. And she's making some remarks, and the guy from ABC News says...
Is that the one in green?
No, she wasn't. No,
who's that chick in the green?
The older gal, I do not know her name, but apparently she's a senator, and I think she's Republican. But Klobuchar, who's a hardcore leftist, ultra libtard Democrat.
I don't think I missed any of your things that you sent. Just what you know.
Okay. But she was making some remarks, and the ABC News reporter who was covering it on radio said, "I'm going to inject here because we have some breaking news just in. The White House has just announced that Joe Biden is pardoning members of his family." And so and of course, this morning we got the news that he had pardoned Dr. Fauci and Liz Cheney and members of the January 6th committee. And so I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget what I wanted to say here on the podcast. I normally don't write things down and talk about them here on the podcast, but I wrote this down because I wanted to be explicit in what I said about this. And this is my thought about Joe Biden and what he did today. In his final hours and in his final acts as president, Joe Biden chose to further soil himself and further stain the office of the presidency of the United States by pardoning Dr. Fauci, Liz Cheney, General Mark Milley, Adam Schiff, and other members of the January 6th committee, and then by pardoning family members, his brother Frank, brother James, James's wife Sarah, his sister Valerie Owens, and her husband John. All members of the Biden crime family. Joe Biden further cemented his legacy as a liar and as an individual totally unworthy of the trust, the respect, and the admiration of the American people. And so this guy is going to go down in history as a complete and total disgrace. Now you can argue, and I agree with the notion that presidential pardon power is absolute. It's guaranteed in the Constitution. Liz Cheney had the nerve to say this after she got her pardon today. You got Liz Cheney and then Benny Thompson, who are both on the House committee investigating January 6th, released a statement following pardons from Joe Biden. And their statement said in part, "We have been pardoned not for breaking the law,
No,
but for upholding it." This is what liberals do. They just go around, they change the meaning of words, they change the meaning of important institutions and important things in our Constitution and things that make this country great. Chuck Schumer, when Donald Trump was on his at the end of his first term in office, there were reports going around that he was going to issue some preemptive pardons, like Joe Biden did here. And you know who was against this notion of preemptive pardons? Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate,
who was shaking hands and fucking.
Oh yeah. He was all, you know.
He was all about.
It was all about it today. But here is what Chuck Schumer said on the floor of the Senate at a speech he made in the final hours of Donald Trump being president. Let's see. He wrote this, or he not wrote this, but he actually said this on the floor of the Senate. Let's see. Nonetheless, and he was talking about some other subjects as well, talking about some bills they were working on trying to get passed. But he got to the point of this notion that Trump was going to issue some preemptive pardons. Here's what Chuck Schumer said. Nonetheless, it's silly season at the White House. The president seems intent on filling each of his remaining days in office with petulance, grievance, and self-interest. The president is reportedly asking his staff about whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer. No, Mr. President. That would be a gross abuse of the presidential pardon authority. Those are the words of Chuck Schumer talking about preemptive pardons, which is exactly what Joe Biden did today. You know who else used to be against the idea of presidential pardons, preemptively speaking? Can you take one guess of who used to be against this?
I'm cheating, but Joe Biden.
How about Joe Biden?
I'm cheating.
Let's play the audio. Joe Biden with Jake Tapper.
Oh, which one?
4 years ago, and that was the separate email I sent you. Did you get that one?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Maybe. I don't know.
It was Joe Biden and the email said what did it say? Well, I sent it to you. Hold on, let me click on my phone.
Well, I can't be perfect all the time.
Well, I know. I thought I thought you had it ready to go over there. It said
you sent me a bunch of shit later.
It said, "Biden, you won't see me do this."
Nope, don't have it.
You should have it because I sent it to you earlier today.
Never heard of her. Never heard.
You don't
send it again. Just send it again.
All right, hold on.
God damn it.
We were ready to go.
We were ready to go, but not ready to go.
All right.
It's a fucking national holiday, sir. We're allowed to not be perfect. We got Pappas coming on in 5 minutes.
Oh, yes?
Pappas says he can phone in 5 minutes.
But let me get back to...
send that back to me.
Okay, I just sent it to you.
I will have it.
Well, let me get back to Dr. Fauci. Fauci, and I talked to the friend of our show, the friend of the show, Congressman Bad Wenstrup, about this. After his committee completed the... It's not going to be in there. It's a separate email.
Okay.
But
that's the only email I got from you.
No, I just forwarded you another one.
I know. I'm saying beforehand. That was the only other one.
Well, it's in my sent thing. my sent folder.
It's in my sent thing.
Is it right there? Sent. It's just,
Yeah,
it says
because you just fucking resent it. You
no,
douche.
I sent it earlier.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not. Never saw this. No, I promise you.
I know, but I'm saying I sent it earlier.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I sent it at 3:02 p.m.
I promise you, you did not.
What's this say right here? What's that say? Right there, 3:02.
Garbage.
So anyway, let me get back to Fauci.
Do you want me to play this or not?
Are you ready? Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, Joe Biden. Let's go back 2020 with Jake Tapper talking about preemptive pardon.
I'm sorry I didn't have that ready.
Here we go.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
So that's
President
complete
Trump
bullshit.
Is, reportedly considering a
that
wave
is complete
of
bullshit. What he said right there.
Pardon.
He also said he wouldn't pardon his son. And look, I don't care if he uses the pardon. All presidents, I may not like it, but the whole issue of these people serve the country so well that they deserve protection from Donald Trump because they want to further this notion that Trump's only interest in being president again is so he can go after his political enemies. Well, I know you got Pappas. You got Pappas on the line.
Now, finish your thought. But
well,
I'm going to call. He's good to go.
Okay, go ahead and call him.
Okay,
but let me say something else.
Yeah,
and Pappas can listen to me talk for a minute. Let me say here's another pardon that you won't hear about. Let me see. Let me find it here. Hold on. I was ready to go before.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Oh, there you are. How are you, caller?
Hey, caller. Hey, first time, long time. Just wanted to say, am I the 13th caller? And what do I win?
You get a free pizza at
from
Anderson Flabian Pizza,
or
have it your way,
or a mugging in Washington D.C.
So the I'll pass on the Flabian Pizza. Sounds a little bit fatty to me.
Hey, so let me ask you, what's the vibe? What's the sitch over there, and what's the temperature?
Actually, I got to be honest with you. So, since I'm a thinking person and I've had time to dwell on this today in moments of reflection, first of all, the vibe is really cool. But I think overriding everything is a sense of, and this is going to sound bad, but people are disappointed in a way because when this got canceled at the last minute, everything was thrown into disarray and there was no plan B option. What I mean by that is a lot of these people worked a long time to achieve the opportunity to get invites to come to this, right? So they were given tickets for the inauguration, whether it be in a section or standing room only or whatever. And I don't know what the number is of tickets that were given out. But what they could have clearly done is then in that pool of tickets said, okay, if you have tickets to go to the inauguration that's now canceled, obviously, because of weather, their words.
Their words.
Their words. You can come to the Compact Center and you'll be seated in this section. See what I'm saying? They didn't do that. What they said was, okay, your tickets are now commemorative, which is cool. Don't misunderstand me. I mean, having those tickets is kind of neat. I'll probably look at them for 5 or 10 minutes and then put them in a drawer. But
probably suitable for framing, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a cool thing to have around.
but when you have as many awards as I do, what's another trinket on the wall. But
Oh, Jesus.
oh,
Christ.
Ouch. But
Best dry cleaner in the tri-state area.
oh, you went low. You went so low. When they
Hey.
go low, we go lower.
City Beat
So-
Magazine just doesn't hand out those awards. We all know that.
So the point is that they didn't do that. They just said, hey, okay, it's now shifted over to the compact center, first come, first serve. Well, I got to tell you, Trump just got to the compact center. You've been watching it on TV all day, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these people have been standing in lines 6 a.m. this morning and got in and been sitting there all day.
I saw people who were there at 4 a.m.
Well,
after the event.
I
After the
wasn't
event
up at
last
4
night.
a.m.
Yeah.
Right. So I am not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's just that's what I mean. Some people are just, I'm kind of in between because I understand, and it's not about you, and it's not about your personal happiness and safety first. The security here. What caught my eye though today was the military review, the military parade review. Right. That was even inside. And I'm like, military, and correct me if I'm wrong, military environment. So I don't think been a reason to cancel that. Am I wrong here?
Well, I think they just said that if we're going to have one event inside, we might as well have them all inside. And
I think the security is the over. I think my opinion is.
I think it is too.
Yeah, I think there was a serious security that they couldn't identify, and they're not taking, and rightly so.
I think we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out in a month or so from now that they had some probably actionable intelligence. And
now let me tell you
they were going
something
to put
that's
the
kind
clamps
of.
down on everything.
Let me tell you something that's kind of interesting that I've noticed. Now, I don't know my way around this town very well. I mean, it's a grid, but I don't know the most direct routes. So I pull up on my phone the app maps, right? Dan doesn't know how to use that since he's new to the Apple phone. But the
got my iPhone right here, man, brand new.
Yeah, I know. How's your screensaver or whatever, your home screen?
It's the same as it was the other day.
Yeah,
I haven't
made great progress.
I haven't completed the setup yet.
No, you haven't.
Well, I have other more important things to do than fiddle around on my phone for hours at a time.
No, you really don't.
Yes, I do.
But anyhow, no. So anyhow, the point of the matter is that at the end of the day, what was I talking about? I don't even remember what I was just talking about.
Fucking security, fucking military.
Oh, so when I'm walking around here and I use my
And the grid.
Yeah. So when I use my Apple Maps and you're walking, right? Usually you're a blue dot, right? It tells you what direction you're facing and, hey, stupid, turn around, you're going the wrong way, blah, 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 right? That's all wonky now. And what I mean by that is I think they're jamming. I think they're doing something to interfere with the GPS reception or GPS shit here just for the security thing. You see what I'm saying?
I would have zero issue.
No reason to doubt that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have any issue with it, but that jumped out at me today as I was like, my phone's not working on locating where I am and where I'm going. So I think they're really trying to clamp down on, and that's everywhere I've been in DC. Now, to be fair, I'm not a huge, I'm keeping my walking to a minimum. So I'm not a big walker. Maybe you noticed, but
weird. Swollen ankles.
Pappas, I'm not a walker.
Big abdomen, swollen ankles. That's fine.
So last night was a great night. Last night was the Buckeye and Bowtie Ball. Really well done. Have to take my hat off to the ORP. Very, very well done. It was at the hell was it? Oh, it was at one of the Hiltons around here, the Conrad Hilton.
I saw a picture of Triantaflu and
how'd you say that?
Triantafilu and Orlando Sanza. I had a hard time telling which one was which.
I don't know. I don't know who this Triantafilu character is of whom you speak, but he sounds fairly shady to me. But
Shady.
He's probably 5 feet away from you right now.
No. I mean, I'd be afraid. Let me tell you something. Listen. although we're buds, I'm gonna give Alex. I texted him earlier today. I'm like, you are zero fun, and what I mean by that is this is not a fun event. Or I'm sure he's had a great time, but he's working his ass off, and so I'm used to fun Alex or friend Alex, and this is like showing up at somebody's work and expecting him to be on playtime. There's no playtime, so I'm kind of bored, but that's okay. It's okay. So there was another ball tonight that I did not want to go to, the Liberty Ball, because it's about I didn't feel like putting a tux on me. Maybe you didn't notice. I'm not a big tuxedo kind of guy.
I would have gone to all of those motherfuckers. Why do you go and take up space in these fucking events if you're not going to go do the things?
Well, here's the problem.
No, it's not a problem. It's your problem. I would totally go and do that.
No, my point is no, because this ball tonight, I first of all, it's about from where I'm at. You can't get a cab here, so I was going to have to huff it quite a bit of ways.
Oh,
yeah, outside in the cold, which is not fun in dress shoes.
Oh yeah, what's the temperature there right now?
Yeah, it's about 21. No, it's dropping now. It's dropping.
Oh, it's fucking 8 here. It's 8 here, motherfucker.
Okay, well, you go put a tuxedo on and walk outside, and then we'll be even. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
So I was like,
tuxedos aren't all that warm.
And no, formal shoes are not all that warm. And then secondly, the big deal is that you're standing at this event. So like the people that were the people that today were at the Coliseum or the Compact Center, 6 a.m. this morning. Well, they're now seeing the president. They went there to see the president. He's going to show up. I'd love to see. Probably go upstairs and check out what he's signing, some executive orders right now on stage at the Compact Center. But they stood there all day. Well, they're at least seated in comfortable clothes. You standing on a concrete floor in dress shoes for 4 and 5 hours waiting for a 10-minute appearance by the president is not my
I think they put
right
I think they put seats on the floor though.
It sounds terrible though.
Not at these balls.
Oh, the balls. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It sounds terrible. I'll give that to you. It sounds terrible.
Yeah, so I mean, so I'm going to probably since the Buckeyes are playing tonight and for a temporary moment only, I'm going to be a Buckeye fan, and I'm going to go find a place that probably serves non-Flabian pizza and try to maybe a cold something or other, and probably watch some football tonight because I don't need to remind you there is a national championship on tonight.
OHIO, sir.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm glad that that remedial spelling class finally kicked in. So that's wonderful that you can spell.
And dead legs on board too.
I tried to find out what event Alina Hobb is going to be at, and that's the one I would go to.
You know what's cool though? There is I think right down the street. I'm seeing right down the street because I'm down in the lobby now, and I'm seeing there's a military ball right down the street, I guess, and I am seeing a lot of when military uniforms when they're wearing their formal dress. Is pretty cool.
Very
so I'm
cool.
seeing a lot of military officers and their dates walking by, and it's pretty cool. But that's it. That's one of, I think. What was you guys take away from the television today? What was any of you? Which I'm telling you.
So we have the TV on in the podcast room. Maybe a little bit behind. I don't know, but it says soon Trump signs executive orders before a crowd of supporters, which I think is the most baller fucking move that you could fucking make. Before you do your speech again, you're going to sit at a desk and sign your executive orders that you said. All right, so Biden signed this.
I think he just walked into the arena because I'm hearing TV. So I think he just walked in.
Yeah.
So tell me the time right now because I'm on my phone with you and I don't want to look at the phone. So it's 5:27.
It's 5:27.
Okay, so some of these people have been sitting in the arena. I think the doors opened at. I think that they actually started admitting you at 9. So they've been sitting there in their seats since.
I was watching. I had Fox News on this morning, and it was before 9 when they started letting people in. So
okay, so you've been eating arena food all day.
Yeah.
With arena toilet paper, which probably isn't very absorbent, and you're sitting there. I mean,
somebody said Pappas needs a hover around scooter front row seat every time.
Man, I'll tell you what, I would
get you a Jazzy. You'll be in good shape.
Hey, that's funny. You know what?
Wild Man Walker's got one.
You know what's missing? I haven't seen, and maybe they picked them all up. I haven't seen any of those electric rental scooters here. I haven't seen any of those near the route or anywhere near the secure areas because those have batteries in them, right? They could be disguised as explosive.
That's shocking.
So those are gone. I know electric red bikes. I haven't seen any of those, or the rental bikes. I haven't seen any of those. I mean, it's kind of weird.
Can you
So
imagine?
everyone's huffing it.
Can you imagine? And I was talking about this earlier today.
Mm.
Can you imagine? I mean, just the day that Vance and fucking Trump and their family, but I'm going to focus on those two. Those motherfuckers are probably up at 4 a.m. Getting their fucking hair done, getting their fucking makeup done, but then to go to church, then the whole day, inauguration day. Jesus Christ,
It's got to be grueling, man.
that's
Well, yeah, you think about it. So yeah,
I would
you raise a
sleep
great
for
point,
fucking
Jason.
3 days afterward.
I don't know what they're injecting these people with, and we from the days of JFK would get injected with amphetamines. There's no question about that. It's documented.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know that they're doing that. I'm speculating here, but you raise a great point. These people have been going, and okay, people are like, oh well, a tough gig, blah 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 blah. Well, no, it is kind of a tough gig right now because they're people too, and they've been going since the crack of dawn, before the crack of dawn, as far as you and I know.
I'm literally looking at Donald Trump right now at 5:29 p.m.
Yeah.
It's the same way I did at fucking 12:15.
Yeah, the hair's held up well.
He looks the exact same.
Yeah.
Eyes aren't fucking eyes
No.
aren't sagging.
Dude, I'd be sound asleep. Seriously, I'd be sound asleep. And
Yes.
I will tell you this: what jumped out at me today a little bit was watching on TV. Here's the cool thing. So I was in the secure area. I did go through security, got in the secure area, and I posted the video on my Facebook. So you saw the motorcade go by.
Oh, I didn't.
When he left the White House. That was pretty
I don't watch your Facebook page.
You liar, get in line. And so
fucking loser.
It's not real, it's Facebook. But anyhow, so I did get to see and I filmed it and documented it because I put my face in it. But I did see the motorcade drive by, and that's right when they left. And then I was the cool thing was, so I went to the Old Ebbitt, one of the oldest restaurant bars here in DC, which is right in that secure area.
See what they got there.
And
Comparatories turnout gear.
Oh yeah.
How about that?
What are we doing?
Hats off.
How about that,
What
man?
are we watching?
They've got a firefighter honor guard coming in, and they've got and they're leading their honor guard with Corey Comparatori's turnout
good.
gear.
Cool. Very cool. Very thoughtful.
And then a bunch of his compatriots.
Yeah.
I love that.
Was before Dan rudely interrupted the guest.
Not interrupt you, and you're not a guest.
I'm calling in. I'm a guest. I'm on this end of the phone. I'm a guest.
You're half a host.
So anyway, the bigger half. So anyway, here's the deal. So what was I talking about?
Hasn't achieved full host status.
I was watching. There were 3 dudes behind me at the bar restaurant watching the TV, and they were from Texas, and they were the.
I thought you said you were in a secure area.
I was, but I was at the secure area. The motorcade.
There was a bar in the secure area?
Yeah, it's called the Old Ebbitt, one of the oldest hotel restaurants here. So the coolest thing was these guys were so funny. The whole bar was packed with people watching the TV, and 2 Canadian ladies that came obviously from Canada. And I was like, hey, they were there just to celebrate. They came down just to celebrate the event. I mean, met some great people. I've met great people all day, and everyone's happy. Haven't run into a whole bunch of hairy-legged protesters. It's been kind of cool, but it comes with its challenges. I'm serving the people of Southern Ohio right now by documenting the event here for one more, and I'm out of here, and I'm doing this on my dime, and I'm willing to do it. But
you're doing the Lord's work, sir.
I'm doing the Lord's work.
You're doing the Lord's work. No,
oh my God.
So where are you at currently? Like your physical, geographical
Earth.
location.
I'm on Earth.
Where are you at? Are
Earth.
you sitting in a hotel room, fucking just chillaxing?
I'm sitting in my hotel room waiting for the my chicken nuggets to show up with.
How cold was it there?
I told you it was 21 degrees.
Yeah.
Wasn't that cold?
Right,
woke up today to a brisk, clear sky, no clouds.
You
Windy.
Michigan guys.
You Michigan guys.
You Michigan
By the way,
guys.
By the way, they're getting pounded with snow. But here's the deal. I'm telling you that the weather wasn't that bad. It was sunny. It was breezy as hell. And as I'm walking around in my winter coat, and be prepared for the weather, right? But it wasn't that bad. Now, where it gets bad is if you throw a tuxedo on, dress shoes. That's not particularly warm, and then and you know what? So the other thing is, if you go to any of these events, they obviously going through security. Well, the hotel lobby doesn't have the space for 500 people waiting, so you're standing outside for 45 minutes waiting to get into whatever ball you're going in. Yeah, and it's bad enough for guys, but think about if a lady in dress heels or dress shoes stand out there freezing her wachungas off. It's not a whole lot of it's not as romantic as it sounds.
No, I think they did the right thing by moving everything inside. Absolutely.
Well, I think you're right, and God forbid something had happened, for sure. Just because whatever people wanted to have it outside. But like I said, I think the accommodations for those people that have worked long and hard to secure tickets to this thing probably should have been accommodated. But hey, whatever. I mean, just sour grapes, I guess.
Trump went to school there at New York Military Academy.
And
I did know that.
I know he was like the leader of his class too. He was like the guy who led everybody around. I don't know what they call it there, but that's who he was.
Well, Andrew,
yes, sir.
We appreciate your boots on the ground.
I'm happy to carry the show any opportunity I can.
Yeah, you definitely.
I wouldn't use the word carry.
You definitely carry.
I'm happy to add content I'm happy to add significant relative content to the show.
Well,
there you go. I'll give you that much.
You have the money to be able to travel wherever
Don't
you want to go.
Listen to Steve. As far as you're concerned, wait a second. As far as you're concerned, I drove my beat up VW Bug down here from Ohio, and I'm sleeping in a freaking park. Okay, so let's not speculate on anything.
It's not like you're taking one for the team. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I am taking one for the team. And I expect I will be turning in my Jason. We didn't discuss. Is there an expense report?
No, expense report. Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool because I'm gonna 1099 here. So
I'm gonna 1099 you when I get back.
Hey, you know what this sounds like?
There you go. Pappas in DC.
I love it. I love that. Hey, you know what this sounds like? Click.
So we appreciate him calling in. But just
he's there.
He was there.
He's seeing it.
He was there, and he gave us a live report from on the ground.
Oh, I'm going to try to call James McGee.
All right,
we'll see if we can get him.
But I just want to wrap up my thoughts on
please
on Biden and his pardons. In the final minutes, not only did he commute the sentences of not commute the sentence, but pardon Liz Cheney and the January 6 people and members of his family. He also commuted the sentence of a guy named Leonard Peltier. Leonard Peltier. Does that name ring a bell at all? Leonard Peltier is now 80 years, huh?
I feel like I know it, but I can't say that I know it.
Peltier is now 80 years old. He's been in prison for some time now. Mr. Peltier is a Native American activist currently serving life in prison for killing 2 FBI agents on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation and escaping from federal prison. Tribal nations, Nobel Peace laureates, former law enforcement officials, including former U.S. attorneys who oversaw Peltier's prosecution, dozens of lawmakers, human rights organizations, strongly support granting Peltier's clemency, citing his advanced age and illness and his close ties to leadership in the Native American community. So here's a guy who was not only a cop killer, convicted cop killer, killed 2 federal agents in Indian Territory. And Joe Biden commuted his sentence today. So, drug dealers,
among a ton others.
some of the absolute worst thugs and killers you can possibly imagine are the kind of people that Joe Biden has seen fit to pardon. And to my way of thinking, this opens the door for Trump to commute the sentence of anyone who was in the nation's capital and unfairly prosecuted on January 6th.
Yes, and as they're being held as
they're political prisoners.
Political prisoners, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, we nailed both of that. Where are we at? I got multiple fucking tabs open, and I'm trying to figure out where we want to go next.
All right. Well, here's one of the beautiful things that happened today. The moment that Trump raised his right hand and took the oath of office, things started happening. And one of those things that started happening was on the border. Stephen Miller,
you sent me that,
who was in the White House. Yeah, you had it up there a second ago. I don't. Is that? Yeah, that's the one right there.
That one. Perfect.
Stephen Miller, who's a policy advisor in the White House, put this out on his X feed. He wrote, "All illegal aliens seeking entry into the United States should turn back now. Anyone entering the United States without authorization face prosecution and expulsion." And this was the scene at the border just a minute or so after 12 noon today, when people here's what's been going on. Joe Biden and Homeland Security had created an app, and if you wanted to come into the country between ports of entry, you could actually use an app, and they would tell you like the time to be there, the time to cross over. In some cases, you get on an airplane, they'd gladly fly you over here.
They'll take you wherever.
But there are people who were
New York, Chicago,
on their way over, and the moment that the power changed hands, the app got shut down, and this was the reaction of people on the border, or at least one woman on the border. Turn that up.
Yeah. You should have been a little bit quicker.
Not getting to the United States.
Should have been a little bit quicker.
Sorry about your luck.
But then guess what? with fucking Trump being there, he's going to kick you back out anyway. So it didn't matter.
And don't worry, the people you were coming to hook up with, they're getting kicked out before too long too. So there you go. I don't feel sorry for him at all.
I don't either, Dan. I honestly don't. If you do it the right way, I'm completely good with you coming in. We've talked about this multiple times. But that stupid bullshit of, well, I feel like I should just be able to come over here because everyone else did.
No, I don't think so.
No, that's not the way it works.
All right.
It is definitely not the way it works.
All right. And
what are these other ones we got?
Okay.
Shit.
Let's get to some of the
which one was these?
Some of the great parts of the speech today. Okay, hold on.
I don't know which one that is.
All right. Well, hold on. All right.
I'm trying to figure it out. Because
the speech covered a lot of ground, and these aren't necessarily in order.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
But
really.
I thought he hit a lot of good points. And there's a lot of the left media out there talking about, how Trump wants to be a dictator. He can't be trusted. Trump wants to be a totalitarian and everything else. But what he wants to be more than anything else, I know the Middletown High School band.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So Deadleg just said he's got the Middletown High School band playing, which, right? I mean, literally 25 minutes, 30 minutes
from where we're sitting right now. Yeah,
30 minutes from where we're.
That's JD Vance's hometown. That's his high school band right there. So that's pretty cool for them. But Trump doesn't want to be a dictator. He doesn't want to be an authoritarian. He wants to be a peacemaker, and he said so. And let's hear cut number 2.
Which one are we going at? That one?
Cut number 2.
Fuck, I don't know, dude. I just fucking grabbed all of them.
Yeah, that's the right one.
I'm not your fucking producer.
I'm just
fucking
saying
700.
I'm just saying that's
I'm
the
the fucking
you got the right cut right
I'm
there.
the shitty podcast producer.
Well, when I sent it to you, you said it was perfect.
No, you at least fucking threw it out. Boom, there.
All right, cut number 2.
Hopefully they all come out the way that they're supposed to.
This is a good moment of the speech right here.
Proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
Notice who didn't stand up?
He's going to stand up.
He's slowly
Yeah.
going to stand up.
Oh, shit. That was the only part in the speech where Biden was able to come to his feet, which is asking a lot.
Yes. He killed it.
The only thing I would have done different there is I would have at least thrown Biden a little bit of a bone there, saying, "Look, this is something that my people were able to work on with Joe Biden's people on." I would have said something that, Benjamin Netanyahu gets the majority of the credit there, to the extent that you and I were able to work together.
And I agree with you.
And help this process along. Thank you for that.
There were
that's what I would have said.
There were 3 of us that were working on it.
Yeah.
Biden wants to take credit. We know that probably Trump pushed most of that, but yeah, play the game.
I would have thrown him a little bit of a bone there.
Yeah, just play the game.
Okay, so then
you ready for this one?
The other part of the speech, it was great, was he did a lot to have the speech be forward looking and uplifting, but at the same time he also didn't mince words when it come to talking about just how shitty the Biden administration really was. So that's number 3.
If it is.
Let the sun shine.
Presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face.
It looks good.
Well, there are plenty
having a good hair day.
will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
So there you go. So there's Trump laying it out for everyone to see. And he does that because he knows that he's the boss. And I think that's the thing that people respond to when it comes to Trump more than anything else, is the guy has been a boss for a long time. He knows how to act like the boss. And he knows that when he's in the room, that he runs the room. And he doesn't give a shit if Obama is sitting there. He doesn't care if Bush is sitting there. Doesn't care if Biden is sitting there. Kamala Harris. He's gonna say what needs to be said.
Yes.
And that is something that for too long in this country, when you have different presidents make these inaugural speeches and talk about, trying to blow smoke up everyone's ass and to talk about how rosy everything is, where everything is not rosy.
Well, in my opinion, when Trump won his first go round, nobody ever thought that he was going to win.
Yeah.
Right. That was the biggest fucking shock, was not a politician, but he said, this is what I'm going to do. Boom, 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 boom. Started making some moves. Not saying every move that he made was great, but he did a good job. He loses to Biden. Biden comes in, COVID, like at the end of Trump, COVID comes in, Biden jumps in. And then you look at like where we're at now here in fucking 2025. What the fuck? Oh, somebody's calling.
I can hear your phone ringing.
Yeah.
All right.
I just heard it. Sorry. But it's just so weird because when COVID was happening, everybody had to shut down. You can't do anything.
No.
And now here we are, and you look at, you're looking. I don't remember this for Biden. I don't remember something looking like this.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to remember. I mean, it's been so long. I think Reagan was the last one that had an inaugural
indoor
day that where everything was held indoors.
That was something else I was going to ask you. That was his second go round, correct?
Reagan, yeah.
It was a second.
Yeah, it was cold outside, so they did it in the rotunda there. Which, it looked like it was some pretty tight quarters in there today. if you were
totally did.
If you were sitting next to someone you didn't like, you were rubbing elbows with them for a couple hours there today.
Well, hey,
so that wasn't that great.
Weird. What if Kamala would have won?
Oh my god!
And it was cold.
We are
out.
So lucky.
And it was cold out, and we were rubbing elbows with people because of germs and the COVID, or as you said, the Wuhan.
My God! Thank God she didn't win.
The Wuhan.
There was another part in the Trump speech where one of my favorite parts where he essentially told people that we are done with all this transgender nonsense.
I think it's this one.
And he got back to basics, which is something that this country needs. When he essentially said, like, our buddy in North Carolina, what the hell's his name? Mark, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. The guy who ran for lieutenant governor. But he says, ain't but two genders. Trump didn't exactly say it that way. But
I think this is the same one.
But here's what he did say.
Policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
There you go.
He looks good.
And I defy anyone to argue with that. That's the policy of the government. There's two genders. You got male and you got female, and that's it.
Policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
And that's the way business is going to be done from now on.
He looks good too.
Yeah, no, he looked great in that speech.
And it's a lot of fucking work to be done.
And then he
and that was at probably 1 Eastern time. And he had been at it. He had been at it all day.
Yeah, well, he was done with the speech before 1.
Okay.
He was done with the speech I was looking at the clock, it was about 22.
20 till 1. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed.
I'm saying it was before 1.
I'm saying that motherfucker has been up since like 4 a.m. and fucking speech.
Yeah, he's got stamina. He's got stamina like nobody's business.
This is where you and I. This is where it works because we just fucking want to punch each other. Because fuck, I hate you at some.
All right, but this was another one of my favorite parts.
This one. This one.
The one thing about Trump is he never.
You don't know how to do this. So is this the one that you want me to play?
Is it cut number 5? It's the last one we have.
I don't know. Is it?
This is it. He never, and Trump
You want to talk shit. So
Trump rarely, when he gives a speech, doesn't have a reference to God or the Almighty. And he did that here today, and I think he really put it in context.
Has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
There you go. So you can stop it right there because Alex Jones is going to jump in here. But no, I thought that was a very important part of the speech. God saved my life because that bullet went right past my ear. And if you don't look, you can you can believe in God if you don't want to. But what I think is that in that moment, we saw the hand of God reach down and deflect that bullet just enough and miss Trump because God is not done with him yet. I mean, I really think that's what we saw that day.
no, and I'm not a super religious person.
Neither am I.
I don't go to church. I believe in there's a higher power, but I don't know what that is. But the fact that this motherfucker, I'm not saying he's the Messiah by any means. I'm just saying that motherfucker's lucky as hell. But I've also, even before he got shot at, I agreed with what he was saying. Businessman going into politics, I think that's the way it should be. You got to run this country as a business, not as a fucking, a fucking slush fund for all kinds of bullshit. So I feel like he did that. You can disagree with me and you can hit me on, Instagram, whatever. I don't care. But I think he's got the right mindset, because obviously Joe Biden did not. We can all, I feel like most of us that listen to this podcast can agree that Joe Biden did not do that. So,
No, I thought it was great.
He made his statements. And they were very bold statements earlier today, which I fucking loved. I actually got fucking chills with some of the shit that he was saying. But hold on. Hold on, I gotta look. Oh shit, here we go. Nah, I'm not even gonna acknowledge.
What's that?
One of our friends.
Oh, okay.
But no, like his speech I thought was absolutely phenomenal. Because if you noticed, if Biden was sitting over here, he would turn over this way and fucking talk about how he's going to change what happened over here. But then he would turn over and say, hey, they did a good job over here on this X, Y, and Z. I mean, I don't know what the right answer is, but it definitely wasn't Joe Biden. And guess what? President Trump is here, and thank God.
Well, it's the day we all been waiting for.
It's Martin Luther King Day. It's fucking Inauguration Day, and it's also fucking National Championship Day.
And we had shades of Martin Luther King after the speech, and for me this, I mean, it was that was really a highlight. And I want to close the podcast with that speech today. But before we do that, we want to talk about our friend Rick Barrick, because he's a great sponsor of the show. And when it comes time to borrow money, doesn't matter who you are, there can always be questions. And we'd like you to consider our buddy Rick Barrick. He's been helping thousands of customers unlock the financial potential of their homes for more than 26 years now. He teams up with Cross County Mortgage, which is the second largest mortgage company in America. And together they combine to offer solutions for every borrowing need. Whether it's a new home purchase, a refinancing, a low-interest home equity line of credit to consolidate debt, Rick has all the options tailored for your unique situation. And if maybe you've had some issues with your credit score in the past, maybe you've had a challenge in getting a loan, talk to Rick Barrett. Chances are he can help you get yourself on the right path. Check out the number on your screen, 513-383-2923. And you can also email Rick. His email is rick.barrick, B-A-R-R-I-C-K, at ccm.com. Rick Barrick at ccm.com. Do that, and you are just a step away from a personalized mortgage solution.
You didn't say it.
Didn't say what?
NMLS 18738.
I was waiting for you to say it. Pappas normally says it, but
Well, that's normally Papa's job,
I
but
know,
he's not
but
here, so you have to grab it.
that duty is shifted to you in this case.
Well, it's weird. It's weird.
But this during the campaign, Donald Trump went to Detroit, and he had a meeting with community leaders. He had a meeting with several pastors there in Detroit.
I really want to comment, but I feel like I should not.
Comment on what? On what some of the comments we're getting on the thing?
Yes. But no. Continue with your thought.
Oh, because Cincy 513 thinks that Trump is pandering to
Well, since he 513
to the religious demographic.
we know he's a fucktard.
Oh.
I mean, I talk to him fairly regularly.
Then he doesn't know anything about Trump. Then
He's dumb.
anyway, Trump went to
Almost baited me. Almost.
Trump went to Detroit and met with a number of different pastors and community leaders. And after that meeting, the national media seized on the people that were at that meeting. Oh, tell us what Trump said. Tell us what happened behind the scenes, because there was a public part to much of the meeting was in the public, and it was a community forum, things like that. But they wanted to know what happened behind the scenes because they wanted to know how racist Trump really is. That's what they wanted more than anything, for these black pastors to come out and talk about how Trump was a racist. So Reverend Lorenzo Sewell, who's the pastor at the 180 Church in Detroit, said, look, we've had a lot of politicians come in here, talk about how they want to help the community, because look, Detroit's got just, almost probably as much or more than any other city in the country. Detroit's got crime problems, gang problems, drug problems, you name it. So Trump went there to talk about issues, talk about solutions, talk about reality. And these are the kind of things that Lorenzo Sewell told the national media, that when Trump came here, more than any other politician they met with before, this was a guy who sat and listened. He didn't come in there acting like he had all the answers. He didn't come in there offering government programs and largesse for this, that, and the other thing. He said, Trump sat with us. He talked with us. He listened to us. We had a conversation, and we talked about ways we can work together in the future. And so that was a more meaningful visit by Trump than this guy has ever experienced before when it comes to big-time politicians. So after that meeting, Trump told Lorenzo Sewell that he wanted him to do one of the invocations at his inauguration after Trump won the election. So Sewell got up there today. There was 3 different reverends who he had the rabbi come up there, who was pretty good. I thought the rabbi was pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
And then Sewell should have been the closing act, but he was the middle act. But he got up there and he did his part. And for my money, This guy stole the show, and I actually have the complete cut of the speech he made after Trump spoke today, which I think is something that is worthy for all Americans here. Or do you want to talk about Kamala Harris first?
No, I need you to send that to me because
No, you have it. It's on the list. It's it's cut number 6, I believe. I believe it is cut number 6.
Cut number 6.
Yes. Cut number 6. Pastor Lorenzo Sewell.
I thought I had it here.
Nope, that's not it. There's going to be a little. It's on YouTube. It's going to look like that.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
Oh, it's that one?
That's that one.
Well, when you throw.
There, that's it. That's the one,
I
right?
got it. It's cut number 6. Well, I'm not your fucking producer.
I know, but
I'm just
a
producer. Well, I just had to figure out which one.
But I went through all that. I went to jump through all those hoops to set up that soundbite.
But I actually fucking deleted some shit that I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay.
So I fucked up.
All right, here we go.
I'm not a producer.
Lorenzo Sewell at the Trump
I'm a
inauguration.
shitty fucking podcaster, Dan.
This is about 3 minutes long. Enjoy this. If you didn't get to see it already today.
Let us pray for our 47th president. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that you gave our 45th and now our 47th president a millimeter miracle. We are grateful that you are the one that have called him for such a time as this, that America would begin to dream again. We pray that we would fulfill the true meaning of our creed, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We pray that you use our president, that we will live in a nation where we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today that you will use our 47th president so we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. Or from the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
Yes, sir.
I love it. He's crazy with it, and I love that. I love
You
that.
might think this would take years to learn, but I'm going to teach it to you in
Lorenzo
60 seconds.
Sewell,
Watch
where he's
this.
like,
Visceral
senior
fat
pastor at the
causes
180 Church in
accumulate
Detroit.
Right.
God
muscle,
bless that guy.
liver. Visceral fat is like a direct line.
that whole the whole free at last, free at last, free at last.
Well, that was, he lifted a lot of that from the Martin Luther King Jr. speech.
Oh,
but
no
still,
shit.
it was just a great rendition. It was moving. I was brought to tears when I was sitting there watching that live. It was awesome.
Now it's the fact that he feels included enough to be like, all right, so here's where I want to be, and I want to project this out. I love it. And then we were laughing about it, and we put it on the full screen, but we were laughing about it, and the fact that I'm like, holy shit, I know people like this that are very, very vocal and want to be a part of something, and they see where this world's going. And I love that.
Well, and my whole point about that is about bringing him or highlighting him on the show today and setting up that story before we play the soundbite is that Trump, when it comes to Trump being a person, I mean, he is as authentic as you can possibly get. I mean, do you think Kamala Harris really is in real life the way she pretends to be in front of the camera? I mean, in real life, she's probably an idiot. But I mean, can you imagine having to sit down and have a conversation with her in real life? I mean, she puts on it's I mean, and all this political stuff is all so much phony baloneyism. But when it comes to Trump is who he is. And I think that's what the American people have responded to. And that's one thing I like that I see out of J.D. Vance is that when he goes on these Sunday shows and he talks to reporters and he talks to the press, he's not pretending to be something that he is not. I think J.D. Vance is really being, because we've known J.D. Vance around here long before he got into politics. Mm-hmm. When his show, when his movie came out, when his book came out, Hillbilly Elegy, I mean, he was around here all the time. He was doing TV hits all the time. And he was the same kind of person then that he is. He really hasn't changed at all since he became a senator and a United States senator. And now that he's vice president, he is really the exact same as he was back then. So I think the American people need to realize that we've got something good here, and I think there's going to be a lot to look forward to the next 4 years.
I actually had a couple other things that I sent to myself, but apparently did not come through. Our friend Brittany Faulknerator, Falk around and find out, sent me two good ones that I thought came through, but they did not. So
what are you gonna do?
She sends us stuff all the time now, and I love it. She was like,
"Oh, we appreciate it,"
and she literally, she's like, I don't want to, bombard you, but I'm like, no, send the stuff because it works out. No, what do you got? What do you got left? I got a couple things if you want.
Yeah, I mean,
if you want it,
we've run through just about everything I've had
outside. So all right. So this came from Falk, and I feel like this is. I think it's prominent, so we're gonna play it.
And there are some that are even dangerous.
Over the past few days, I've probably been to 20 firehouses, and what I've seen has been absolutely infuriating.
It is impossible to get anything fixed. Most of the firemen I've talked to this week do the repairs at the stations themselves with their own money. I am not exaggerating this. The very first firehouse I pulled up to, there were firemen in the back filling in a pothole with sand. If LAFD finds out you've made any of your own repairs, you're punished. I have talked to firemen firemen that have to barter supplies with other stations to get the supplies that they need. At the next station, when I asked the fireman if I can come in and document the damage, he said, just take pictures of the outside of the building and you'll know what the inside is like. This fire station, its garage door has been broken for a year. They begged and begged LAFD into fix it, who was punishing them for not having quick enough response times. And it got repaired this week only because the local community stepped in and fundraised money. There's stuff like this citywide, and LAFD is terrified you'll find out because they know you'll be pissed. The mold infestation at Los Angeles Fire Station 112 was so bad, it sent its fire chief to the hospital. He was on life support for 3 weeks. His leg turned black and they had to amputate his thumb. Mold is a huge problem. It isn't just one fire department, it's like 15 and very well documented. Going back to station 112, after complaints and complaints, I talked with a guy who self-financed his own mold test. When the inspector came, he told him it was the worst case of mold he'd seen in his life. Another fireman here refused to go into the kitchen because every time he did, his face would break out in hives. The firemen here were sleeping on the fireboat until their higher up told them they had to stop doing that because it looked bad. Why is this like this? There's multiple reasons, but the biggest is the union. An active fireman told me there's a lack of funding, goes nowhere bureaucracy, inaccessible chain of command, and mismanagement. So look, I'm not intimate with this union's policies, but if it's any indication, they might have the one flagpole I have seen in the city that's not flying at half-mast. Seems like they have a lot of respect. A fireman told me every fireman in the city are terrified to talk to you. This is actually the reason why firemen can't talk to media. As a fireman told me, it's their way of damage control. And anyone knows if they talk to media, they'll be fired.
So how about that?
So that's, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, you don't go against your your municipality or whatever. Now, LA is a big it's a big entity.
I mean, that is absolutely shameful.
But they're
The condition
obviously
of those
under scrutiny.
firehouses.
They're under scrutiny. And I've got videos of, you know, pictures of their, or videos of their chief, you know, that we could play. And she's getting fucking hammered right now. Yeah, with the way that the wildfires were handled.
And there was a memo that came out.
But here's the thing. I don't give a fuck how the wildfires were handled. That sucks. And you weren't prepared. Just say you were prepared and you fucked up, and that's okay. We'll figure it out. And then you fix it. And you're probably out of a job, but it's going to get fixed. But when you have people that are living in these firehouses where there's fucking mold, and these are the people that are supposed to go help the wildfires, and you have to fucking sleep in mold. Gross. And it's gross. It's fucking nasty. It's fucking disgusting. And she got called out bigger than fuck. And I don't know. It came from the former battalion chiefs, assistant chiefs, and active chiefs and assistant chiefs. I literally read a fucking email that they sent to her that pretty much said, you are fucked. You fucked all of this up. You have not done anything that you said you were going to do in the last 3 years, because she came in 22, I believe. I read it yesterday at the fucking dinner table. I was like, can you imagine getting this fucking email? It was terrible.
Well, you know, the
wildfires don't mean shit. I mean, the wildfires are huge.
Yeah,
but this is bigger than the wildfires, because this shit was happening before.
Well, yeah, this shows a history of just the, I don't know if abuse is the right word, but you know, a history of not caring about the state of the fire department. And when you have houses that are in that bad of a shit, look, Los Angeles is a huge city. I mean, what we have here in Cincinnati's got a pretty big fire department, but it's probably what, maybe a third, maybe a quarter of what the LA Fire Department is, maybe a tenth. I don't know. Maybe it's even smaller than that.
I know. Since they have 26 firehouses.
But
I have no idea how many.
There's way over 100 in Los Angeles. But to allow these fire departments to fall into this sort of state of disrepair, and the fact of the matter is that the mayor did cut $17.6 million out of the budget. There was a memo that came out that showed that just days before the fires broke out, the wildfires, that she had a memo out that she wanted to cut another $49 million out of the budget of the fire department. She had that scrub from the mayor's website after the fire started. So there's just a ton of dirty laundry is coming out in the Los Angeles Fire Department.
Which here's the weird thing, Dan. It's fucking LA and it's California. Weird. Yeah. Nothing is ever simple and easy and just clear cut.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking California and it's LA.
Well, the people who live there were talking about. I had a story about the initial start of the Palisades fire, and they called it in. What you're supposed to do, you got a fire in your neighborhood, you call it in.
Yeah.
There was not a response for 44 minutes,
dude.
44 minutes. Can you imagine 44 minutes passing before you would respond to a fire? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And out there, I mean, I get like, oh, there's something on fire, some grass on fire, whatever. A house fire is different. I'm not saying it's different, but like out there, I think it is. Because it'll, obviously, we just saw how that fucking worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw that number, and then also watching all of the other bullshit with the fire chief, the assistant fire chief, the light is not good. And hold on, shit, before we get out, because I have something funny.
And while you're looking that up,
yes, please.
Karen Bass actually has a deputy who's in charge of overseeing the fire departments. So the mayor of Los Angeles was in Ghana when the fires broke out. The deputy mayor, Brian Williams, has been on administrative leave since mid-December. Jason, do you know why he is on administrative leave since mid-December?
No clue.
The FBI raided his home in mid-December. This is deputy mayor of Los Angeles back in December. His home was raided by the FBI because of a bomb threat that he allegedly made against City Hall in September.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So the deputy mayor, who's in charge of overseeing the fire departments, that he can't be called upon because he has no power right now.
That's where
he called in a bomb threat
and that's
to the place where he works.
That's where I was going.
I mean, this is the kind of leadership. And look, I'm sorry, people in Los Angeles, but you voted for these people.
And it sucks. And it sucks everything that you've had to go through. But yes, you voted for these people.
So if you're the mayor,
that's
and
exactly
you're like,
what I was going for.
My deputy mayor, I mean, he called in a bomb threat and he's out of power now. Might I want to find someone else who can oversee the fire department while he, someone else that has the power to make decisions while this guy's out of action? You can't make this kind of stuff up. And that I've seen that guy before. The guy that we just saw the video of, he was a guy that a day after the Palisades fire broke out was walking around the reservoir that was completely empty. He's got his selfie stick out there, and he's like, "Hey, here I am by the reservoir. Look, there's no water in there." So
yeah, and they're like, "Oh wait, it's supposed to be active next month in February."
Jesus,
there's no fucking way. Anyway, we've had a good day. We've had a great fucking day. I think
been a hell of a day.
I mean, here we are.
Trump 47, baby.
Trump 47.
Let freedom ring.
Let's
let freedom ring.
let's let all of the Democrats that follow this, I don't even know why you do, but you do, and you choose to play into it. But
did you see Trump dancing to the village people at that event? That's ridiculous.
It's the dumbest shit ever, but you know what?
Those were the real village people.
But he actually has has rhythm. Fucking Biden actually wouldn't be able to do that.
How ridiculous. Oh my God.
But Dano, we're gonna close it out. We don't know when we're coming back. It'll be here in the next couple of days, but we haven't even talked about it. We got big shit today. We got the rest of the inauguration. We got Ohio State, Notre Dame.
And I did read where ESPN is going to actually show the singing of the national anthem tonight. So I guess that's something.
That is something.
Wow, what a bold move by ESPN. Congratulations.
But we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we love you. And please tune in again. I'll let you know on Instagram, Facebook when we're coming back. I apparently need to start.